Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. I hope you're having a flare-free day. My name is Em. If you don't know who I am an endometriosis advocate, and everything on this channel is related to life with a chronic illness. And if you're in your own chronic illness journey right now, know that I am so proud of you wherever you are in your journey. In today's video, I wanted to dive into working from home with a chronic illness. Now, I know that everyone's world, regardless of if you have a chronic illness or disease or not, has been changed drastically. Some individuals went from working nonstop in a restaurant or a office building and now have to work at home with other things going on, whether that's children being homeschooled, living with your parents again, living in a space that you now live, sleep, and work in. Can be very challenging to kind of separate work from personal life. So give yourself grace and compassion first and foremost, because it is not an easy transition to do. Over the course of now 2 years working from home in a totally different space, I've kind of created a routine for myself that I now find supports my chronic illness and allows me to provide more grace and compassion for myself along the way. So if you're interested in learning some things that have helped me and what could potentially help you, then just keep on watching. Okay, so tip number one, and I've added my glasses on because I mean business now. So tip number one that has helped me manage working from home with a chronic illness is having a set time where I take a break in the middle of the day. Because when you are working from home, there's a weird kind of, and I think everyone feels this way, but it's as if we're supposed to be at the computer 24/7. It's as if we're always supposed to be on call and available for emails. When in reality, when we were at the office or at our other space of work, we had availabilities for breaks, and that was an expected routine to do. So what I've kind of put into my daily routine is taking a step away from the computer and providing a break, whether that be 30 minutes to an hour, just taking that break for me. Providing that time and space to have away from the computer in the middle of the day allows me to kind of check in with my body to see how I'm feeling chronic illness wise. So do I feel a flare up coming on? Am I pushing myself too hard today? Is there things that I should be kind of looking into, like getting more water before I start working again? It's kind of a point where I can check in with myself while taking a necessary break in the day with work. Along with taking breaks in the middle of the day, I like to take regular breaks. So whether that be standing up at my desk, taking a walk outside, taking a break to go get water, or just check in with myself. Little things and little breaks in the middle of the day can really help make me feel recharged and connected to my body instead of all the time looking at a screen. It's just a little bit healthier that way to take a break. This depends. So sometimes if you're shielding or you have a high pain day, this may not be an available option for you, because I know on my hard flare-up days, I don't want to go for a walk, and honestly, I can't sometimes because I'm unable to move my body. But on the days that I feel good, it is nice to get out and enjoy regular breaks in the day. It actually helps with my work as well. I find if I take a break, then I actually feel ready to keep working, and I have a different mindset, or I have clarity that I can think differently on a topic or a problem that I'm working to solve. Did you know that you can still use sick days even when you work at home? Yeah, it's a thing. I think a misconception is that when you work from home, you're not entitled to sick days anymore because your desk is 2 seconds away from your bed. And I think a lot of people fear the stigma of, if I take a sick day while working at home, that I'm actually being lazy, or I'm not actually sick, or I'm just taking the day for myself. When in reality, dealing with a chronic illness, you are entitled to taking sick days when you don't feel well. Office or no office, if you're sick, and you're entitled to take those sick days. I don't know about you, but working from home with a chronic illness, I think the best thing that's come out of it is the ability to wear comfortable clothing. Now, for endometriosis specifically, I found that tight or restrictive clothing can actually lead to a flare-up for me. So if I have tightness around my abdomen for like tight pants or a skirt, it can actually be very uncomfortable around some adhesions or scarring that I have on my abdomen. Tight pants can also cause some tension and rubbing on my leg if I'm having cramping. It can be really uncomfortable to continue working because all I'm focused on is the pain caused by the clothing the business style clothing that I'm required to wear at work. Additionally, with endometriosis belly, which is also known as endo belly, and it's when your belly kind of swells up and bloats, and it can be really painful. And the addition of business clothing can cause a little bit more irritation and pain when that happens. The best thing I do for working at home and being comfortable working from home is dressing comfortably. So you can wear a blouse on a virtual call and still look professional. You wouldn't necessarily guess that I'd be wearing cheetah pants underneath. And I think that's the best part. You can have business on the top and party on the bottom if you want. But I think the thing that has helped me avoid triggers with my chronic illness are tight clothing, and that's the ability to wear comfortable clothing while working from home remotely. Another important tip working from home with a chronic illness is to have a hard end time every single day for your work. Now, when you look at having an office routine, you would leave the office at a certain time, usually every single day. You would arrive at work at 8:30 and you would clock out at 5:30. Now, when you work from home, it's a little bit different because you do have access to your work computer and your work supplies and all of that 24/7. At the beginning of the work from home routine, I wanted to show that I was available. I wanted to show that I was actually working from home and that I was reliable and capable of continuing the work. And sometimes I'd be working until 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. some nights, and I would send emails that evening at 11 or whatever it may be. And in the morning they were like, oh, you worked really late last night. It's okay to shut it off. And having that mentality from work helped. But I think, until we set that routine for ourselves of separating work from life, it's important because with my chronic illness, because I was working overtime so much to prove myself that I was capable of working remotely and that I wasn't lazy and I wasn't wasting the employer's resources, that I was still a valued employee, I was causing myself to burn out more. I was pushing past my limits. I was causing my body to not get enough sleep, not having enough, proper fuel with proper nutrition. So I was kind of missing meals or skipping them or not taking care of my body because I was too focused on the amount of work I was doing every single day to prove myself. I wasn't feeling 100% because I was working past my boundaries. And I think a number one thing is to have a hard end time for your work and to stick with that boundary. It is so important to have that boundary with working from home, especially with a chronic illness, because we need that energy to thrive and to get through painful flare-ups. Rest is so important. A good meal is important. So making sure you have time to have life on the outside, to recharge and to connect with your body, and to make sure that you're doing the things that connect and make you feel good with a chronic illness is so important. And that comes with having a hard end time with work. Living with a chronic illness can already be isolating in itself. I find it's hard to explain the pain that I feel some days or what my flare-up feels like. And working remotely, I think for a lot of us has been isolating. It's been hard to kind of connect or feel connected to your friend group or your family or even your community because everything is kind of shutting down or not as open to the public. So staying connected while working remotely can make it feel as though it's not as jarring of an experience. You're still connected with your colleagues, you're seeing how they're doing, which is good for their mental health. You don't want to feel more isolated on top of feeling isolated with your illness. Definitely try to connect, whether that be through an email just to see how your colleagues are doing or what their work is revolving around. It doesn't have to be office colleagues as well. It could be friends and family members and seeing how they're doing with working remotely. Staying connected is important, not just for yourself, but for the community that you're involved with. And it can really make the isolating experience of working remotely less isolating. At the end of the day, you know your body best. So if you need to take a sick day from work, it's okay to take a sick day. If you need to take a step or a break away from work for a little bit to just recharge or to connect with your body or to see what it needs with a chronic illness, that is okay too. Your health is number one, okay? Your health is number one. So looking out for the things that you need is so important. Personally, working from home has been helpful because I have access to my medications. I don't have to explain to others why I don't feel well. My family knows what I'm going through. I have access to my hot water bottle to help me during a painful endometriosis flare-up, and I can carry it around with me without, feeling weird in a hallway with the office staff around. So overall, it's been okay, but there are challenges still associated with chronic illnesses while working remotely. I hope that these tips and tricks might help you in your journey while working remotely. And if there's anything I haven't mentioned, please feel free to pop it in the comment box. Anything helps. If you've noticed something that has helped you work remotely with a chronic illness, it would be really helpful to hear, not only from myself, but I'm sure others would love to see it too. And if you're liking what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe and to ring the bell for more notifications on videos that are similar to this. With that, I hope you have a great workday wherever you are, and know that I'm so proud of you wherever you are in your unique journey. Okay, bye.